Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about a word. Now, before anybody gets angry, keep in mind that I'm going to be talking about a word and not necessarily a movement or the people who support that movement, because this word has become a problem largely because of the people who use it. And it's caused some confusion. That word is feminism. Now, once upon a time, and still today for many people, perhaps even most people, feminism is the idea that women are equal to men, and that it is a movement directed towards the effort to make women equal with men in all terms. Now, there is a lot of people who have shown a great amount of disdain and vitriol and even hate for this word. And there is a reason why. Unfortunately, many of my fellow liberals, including Steve Shives, to which, as an attention grabber and as a name dropper, I've added to the title of this video, because I just watched a video in which he mentioned this and flipped me off, not personally, but I'm one of the people to which he said, fuck you, en masse. This word still means this, that it's for equality. Unfortunately, there is a huge online demographic who is becoming more and more visible and outspoken and present in mass media where that is not true of their usage of the word. It seems as laughable to use the term female supremacy or feminine supremacy as it would to use the word like anti-white racism or something. The thing is, those are both things that exist. And I don't know how prevalent or dangerous or effective anti-male sexism is, but it exists. And in the media, in movies, in video games, in writings, in especially on social media like Tumblr and Twitter, it is becoming extremely dangerous to have any sort of interaction with these misandrists. And I know people are going to look at me funny when I use that word, but I'm very serious. There's also this contingent of social justice warriors who are very false. I don't know how else to say it. People like Sui Park with the whole cancel Colbert bullshit, and Anita Sarkeesian with her ridiculously poor critique of video games that has really gained a lot of traction with this Gamergate nonsense. And feminism has become a cultural thing that isn't about equal pay for women, which I support. It isn't about equal representation of women in government, which I support. It isn't about opportunities for women to get the same schooling and the same jobs, and it's not about solving real global women's problems like infanticide and being able to have access to contraception and other places, and genital mutilation and religious what's the word I'm looking for? Religious oppression towards women in the world. It's not focused on that. It's whether or not a woman wears a skimpy outfit. It's whether or not a woman's cleavage is showing in a video game. There are these incredibly inconsequential and petty focuses of these groups. And they have more or less usurped the word feminism. And the reason Steve Shives, why Time Magazine or whatever fucking magazine it was, thinks we should ban that word is because you keep using that word and I don't think it means what you think it means anymore. The thing is, Steve Shives, I commented on your video, and in case I wasn't clear enough, here's this video in response to you. You're not a feminist, Steve. Not anymore. You're not a feminist. Steve, you and I are egalitarians. We believe in equality of all peoples, of races, genders, creeds, ethnicities, whatever. You and I both know that. You just like the word. You think it still means what you think it means. No, Steve, it doesn't. The reason why there's this massive vitriol, and the reason why people like you and even some legitimate feminists read egalitarians don't understand it, is because maybe they're not aware enough of the corruption in the word. And maybe they're not vocal enough in distancing themselves from these uber leftist censorship happy psychopaths, okay? These narcissists. And these bigots. I mean, you think you can't call an ethnic woman or whatever a bigot? You know, because, you know, the people who are obsessed with the word white privilege, it depends on what you mean. There's a lot of poor white people who suffer the same problems as poor black people or poor Hispanic people. That word is nothing but divisive and frankly racist. Just because it's way fucking less prevalent for a white person to suffer persecution. You know, I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic poor neighborhood when I was a kid, okay? And I got made fun of and fucking fucked with and fucking beat up on the playground for being white. Fuck you, Steve Shives. Fuck you, you uber leftist motherfuckers. How fucking dare you? You know what? Just because right now and for large swaths of my life I have benefited from something resembling white privilege doesn't mean I am immune from racism or immune to sexism. And you're fucking shit. You're standing up for these assholes, and you know they're assholes, and I know they're assholes, does nothing but make the problem worse. I mean, how much of a fan or viewer are guys like Al Sharpton? How helpful do you think Al Sharpton is to the issue of racism? You know, a guy who feeds on and makes a career out of acts of racism, even though they're white on black racism. Okay? So when you look at people like Anita Sarkeesian, and you look at people like Suey Park, and other people whose careers are built around the continuation of that unequal paradigm, then how much do you want to identify with the word they use? Why can't you admit that you're an egalitarian, Steve? Why is that scary? Why is that offensive? Because you know what? That's what you really mean. And that's what I really mean. Because you and I share the same values, and you're just fucking throwing a fit over semantics and just saying fuck you to the people who really actually on your side. And maybe I'm overreacting, and maybe you're not paying attention.